Tyson, kind of going off on some of the stuff that was featured in Hard Knocks last night, and overhearing you say that of course you want to be a number one quarterback someday. How do you sort of draw that line with being a good teammate and wanting what you want for your career, for your personal goals as well?
Yeah, I think just the evolution of things will, be perfect no matter what my goals and aspirations are. So only thing I can do is really just show up and be the greatest asset I can be, and just continue to work and get better individually as well.
Were you happy with the Hard Knocks performance, the way they covered you and your dad?
Yeah, I think it's not hard to encapsulate who my pops is, and I thought that all the things that they did with me, I thought it was great.
When you see a guy like Matt Ryan say he's seen a lot of improvement with you from last year to this year, what does that mean to you to see a guy who was put up great numbers in the league for so long, kind of giving you that recognition?
Yeah, it feels great. A lot of respect, obviously, for Matt Ryan, MVP, quarterback stud. And it feels good to know that all the work I've been putting in is being noticed by somebody of that caliber. So it feels great.
What are you expecting tomorrow night in terms of volume and play time?
No expectations, just kind of go in when I'm in, and go out when they tell me I'm done. So
How did your review of the Cincinnati game come out when you went back and watched it on film? No, it felt great live.
say it again.
How did your review of the Bengals game and your production in that game feel to you when you went back and watched it versus experiencing it when you were out there?
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, it's never as good as you think. It's never as bad as you think. It's always in the middle. So there were some things I did well, and then obviously things that we could chip away at. So I thought it was great.
In light of the goals that you have, Tyson, what do you hope that others see when you're on the field and see from you?
Just that I am one of those guys that can play the game at a high level. That's kind of the only thing I hope every time I'm out there, is that just everybody can see that I have full control of everything going on. I know where my answers are, and I can just play at that kind of level.
Tyson, you stopped to appreciate that a year ago at this time you were just fighting for a job, and now it seems pretty secure, and that we're talking about you wanting even more. It seems like you've come a long way.
No doubt. I think about it every single day. Grateful for it every single day. But still, the other side of that, I think there's a lot more I could kind of squeeze out of this. And so I'm just excited for the hopeful, the long journey ahead. I like to say.
When you look at the roster or the offensive improvements you guys have made, just the weapons you've added, you sit there and go, boy, if I get an opportunity, like I have a chance to do even more than you did last year.
100%. I think that not only have I gotten better last year, but kind of like what you just hinted to, the team is significantly more dynamic than it was last year, and I don't think you can really go wrong no matter where you go with the ball on the field. And I don't expect us seeing a lot of man coverage, so it really just comes down to can we decipher out the crazy zone looks we're going to get, and still be able to have the good variations of routes run, and still be on the same page.
Does there feel like it's a big difference chemistry-wise this year to last year? I know we're going to see more behind the sines. It just seems like you guys are having a ton of fun.
Yeah, I think there's an understanding of how far just good gelling and camaraderie can take you. I think we noticed that with the defense later, kind of midway through the season last year. They just really started to enjoy each other and build off of each other, and then you could see you start to respect the man next to you a little more, and start to playing in unison becomes a little bit easier. So I think there's a deeper understanding for that this year, which is why I think people, like you guys are seeing us have a lot more fun and being on the same page a lot more this year.
Tyson, when Matt Ryan was here, did he visit with the quarterbacks?
He sat in on a quarterback meeting.
Did he offer any words of advice or anything to stick out from his visit here with you?
No, it was pretty brief. I know a lot of times he's usually here to show his face and hang out with polls, which is pretty much what he did.
Tyson, you talk about having more to show and the long run of your career. As you visualize your NFL career, what do you visualize?
I can't tell y'all that. Y'all think I'm crazy.
I think you're crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I got ridiculous, unbelievable aspirations that go far deeper than what I've been able to do so far. So I'll just sum it up like that, and I'm just excited to continue to work at it and continue to get better at my craft.
Why is
Wanna
it
give us-
important for you to have those? You don't have to share them, but why is it important for you to have those, and how has it helped you even to get to this point?
Yeah, I think it puts myself in a different mental space, and I think it puts those around me in a different mental space regarding how they view me. I just don't want to be somebody who people look at and think are, just grateful for that he just made the team, or just he's a fringe guy. I don't want to be looked at that. I don't think that's who I am. And it just kind of puts me in the headspace of just a limitless mindset, not like a limited mindset.
You don't wanna give us one detail?
Hmm?
You don't wanna give us one detail about your goals?
No.
Tyson, is it more difficult for a rookie to learn to attack his own defense? Is there a learning curve there?
Um,
That kind of, go through?
I think at the end of the day, to keep it simple, each play's got a yes no built into it, that if it's there, we could take it right now, and then usually it's built in with or if it's not a yes no work the concept, it's usually a pure progression. So if you could just have disciplined eyes, keep your head down the middle of the field, get a good picture for whatever is going on. I still think that it's a lot of times you can break down the zones and not have to throw a perfect ball that you would need to in man coverage. I'd say it's pretty difficult either way you slice it.
From what you've seen, does Caleb have what it takes to do that immediately, or is that going to be a learning curve type situation?
I think it'll be both. I don't think there's ever been a quarterback come in and just be perfect right away. But also, as you guys can all see, from the time that he has been in the game, he definitely is capable of playing at that level.
Listen, if you were to take something from Caleb's toolbox and put it in your own game, quarterback toolbox, what would you take?
It would be his just awareness in the pocket. I think he has a good understanding while looking downfield of the rush lanes that are being taken, and the ones that could potentially be opened up. So I think he does a good job of kind of feeling his way through the pocket, and that's something that I've been looking at pretty closely whenever he's in the game.
What would you say has been your greatest area of growth this training camp?
Say it again.
Your greatest area of growth this training camp?
I think just overall knowledge of the game and what's going on, and then situational football has been another huge one for me. I think last year, just as a rookie, just scrambling to kind of get the playbook down and kind of taking any situational information, kind of in one ear, out the other, just because I'm full steam ahead trying to just understand what we're trying to do on this play. So I think now that I've got, the full picture drawn up in my head, I know what the plays are, I know what formation we're running certain things out of, I've been able to kind of expand my mind into the situational aspect of football, which has just made the whole thing smoother and more comfortable for me.
Do you appreciate that level of comfortability? Because like you said, last year it was just kind of like madness. I remember you were like, I've never been away from my family, and now you're at a post-game press conference.
Yeah.
Do you appreciate now coming in the building every day, like, I can see it, it's slowed down for me?
100%, and I think that's just has to go with experience. Obviously, just super thankful that I made last year so stressful on myself, because now I'm just reaping those benefits, as you said, and I know a lot of the people around here too. It's kind of my home away from home at this point now, so it's all just smoother and more comfortable for me.
Is there a moment when you felt yourself relax a little bit?
Is there a moment? What do you mean?
You talked about, you made it so stressful on yourself last
Yeah.
year. When did things kind of mellow out a little bit?
Once the season ended.
What did you do to make things so stressful on yourself last year?
Just kind of leaving the facility, going into my apartment, not leaving the next day until I had everything that we were doing the next day down pat, and any rep that I would get that next day, it would essentially be the third or fourth time that I had already repped that play. So just stressing myself in that sense.
Could you have done last year with that one clip where like you basically gave every option out? Could you have done that last year? It's the same.
I could have probably not as smoothly, but I could have, yeah.
And how nice did you say you got a ton of tickets to Saturday's game at Soldier Field?
Mm-hmm.
Who were they all for?
Yeah, so obviously I had some friends and family come to the game, and then I had a fundraiser for a couple amazing nonprofits that I'm doing work with, Animal Health Shelter and Core Reentry. So I had some tickets for those people as well.
Anybody offer to pay their own?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got great people in my family. Yeah, great people.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Tyson.
Thank you.
What have you learned about the last preseason game and just the volume of hunger that's out on the field and the stage that it is for a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think the volume of hunger to me throughout the preseason is the same. But I think anytime you get an opportunity to get out on the film and put film out to the league, it's something that you can't take for granted. And I just try to prepare the same way, whether it's the third preseason game or if it's a regular season game. I try to now in my 6th year just try to take the same approach every single week and not make it bigger or smaller than it needs to be.
What are your goals for tomorrow night in terms of putting some punctuation on your personal preseason?
Yeah, I think just like I said, just continue to go through my process. Continue to keep the dialogue open on the sideline with those guys. Try to help out everybody in the room. I think that's one thing that has been awesome for me to see this year too. Is like just everybody has been, from Tyson to Caleb to Austin and myself. We've put out good tape, and at the end of the day, that's what you want to see in this league. And no matter what happens, with roster decisions and things like that, you want to see guys play well, and it's been cool to see.
What has the quarterback room been like? I mean, obviously so much attention on Caleb, but you guys kind of working together.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been the best collective group I think I've been with, in terms of just trying to help each other out every single day. And, for me, from my standpoint, being the oldest guy in the room, I think I've, somewhat felt the responsibility to kind of spearhead that, because I don't, with the rookies, I don't really think they knew what to expect coming into it. And, for me, I think it's always important. You do know that you're competing with these guys, but at the end of the day, like I said, you just want to see everyone play well and, put good film out there, because if you're helping each other out, at the end of the day, like, you're going to find out something maybe that you need to know when you get on the field. So it's been awesome to work with these guys. They've been unbelievable.
Being the oldest guy in the room, like, obviously they're learning from you and they're going through this for the first time. But have there been any things you've learned from them? Or
Yeah.
things that surprised you maybe?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think, they bring such a fresh perspective, especially Austin and Caleb, not having been in the league before and, not really knowing, what to expect on any of these things that we're going through, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think, I've talked to them about, especially, I think the game has changed so much now where you see a lot of these younger guys come out and, they do all these crazy off-platform throws, and especially Caleb, that's really part of his DNA. Even though I think he is really good from the pocket as well, but just always trying to pick their brain, anything that they can help me out with. Like I said, it's been a collective effort.
Did you know anything about Tyson when you got here? And what have you learned about him since you've been around him?
Yeah, I mean, I think didn't really know much about him, but the more I got to know him and hear his story, I think him and I come from the similar type of mold, come from not really big cities, both really committed to family, and like both have had that underdog mentality, ever since from a young age, not being under recruited, whatever, counted out, being undrafted. And, I just love the approach that he takes every single day. I mean, he's such a hard worker, and, that's one thing that you can always respect in somebody is, the way that they show up and they work every single day. And I see that in not only Tyson, but, everybody in the room.
How have you seen Caleb kind of grow in his leadership since he got here?
Yeah, he's been awesome. I think just one thing you really want to see from a guy like that is, and I know this has been said before, is, he's comfortable in his own skin, but it's so true. I mean, you just want to see, especially when you got grown men that you're walking into a locker room with, they just want to see that, you know who you are, and you come in and you be that same guy every single day. And I think that's the one thing that he's done the best, is just be consistent and be the same, and, not shy down from who you are in any moment or in any circumstance. And it's been cool to watch that. And then it's just to see him, grow vocally as a leader too. And, getting to see him interact with some of the guys and, really start to get into the intricate details of, route concepts and how he wants to see things done. You can tell he's really, really detailed too.
Why do you think he connects so naturally across so many different spectrums? I mean, you've got rookies in the locker room, you've got Keenan, you've got Mercedes, and he seems like he can cross through all that and connect with just about everybody.
Yeah, I think, you know, kind of just like I said, just being yourself, and really trying to authentically get to know people, and care about them. And you know, I think, like I said, he's done that really, really well.
Do you get nervous before games?
Do I get nervous before games? Yeah, I mean, I think you always have, especially when, you know, you're in a position like mine where every single year, you know, I've been fighting and grinding for a roster spot. Sure, you have some nervous excitement before games, but once you get out there and you get into the rhythm of it, I mean, it just becomes second nature. And I think that's why you know, you have a process and you have a, you know, you're not really focused on the result when you're out there. You just try to go through, okay, what's my job on each individual play? And, you know, when you're able to do that, you get into a flow and you're not thinking about anything.
What have you learned about how to deal with cut day over the years?
Hopefully don't get a phone call.
Do you think about it? Do you not think about it? Do you play video games? Do you go play golf? What do you do on that day?
Well, I mean, I would love to play golf. Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. For those of you that don't know, I'm a avid golfer. So, shoot, I think I'm around a scratch right now. So,
You had the longest drive too.
I did. Yep. Yeah.
Shane's offense and your experience has been hard for guys to pick up.
Say that one more time.
Is there any aspect of Shane's offense that has been harder for guys to pick up in your experience?
No, you know, I think, you know, Shane's an unbelievable teacher, and can really explain concepts well, not only to the quarterback room, but you know, as a whole, when he's going through concepts in front of the offense, you know, he really paints a picture really, really well for everybody to kind of know what the quarterback's looking for, and then, you know, how that fits in with everyone else in terms of the timing and rhythm of the play. And yeah, I think he does a great job.
If you're, obviously you're a competitor, you want to be on the roster and playing or being involved. If there's a situation where you have a choice about where to go or what room to be in, what are the things you look for? I mean, does being here for a while make you want to stay here if that's an option?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I've been through every situation I feel like you could possibly think of, and you know, at the end of the day, like you realize you have no control over a lot of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, if there's an opportunity to go have a chance to play as a competitor, absolutely you want to do that. But you know, you never really know what it's going to look like or how it's going to look like, and I think that's why, you know, you have agents and people that, you know, can help you and figure that stuff out for you. But from my standpoint, just do my job.
All set. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.